Hi, this is Frank Schaeffer, and I want to thank you for sharing my YouTube videos and for watching them. And I would ask you, please subscribe to my YouTube channel. It helps what I'm doing and get the word out. Thank you. Hey, my name is Frank Schaeffer. Pay no attention to the Band-Aid or the man behind the curtain. It's just that I had a little surgical procedure to remove a melanoma, and everything is doing fine. Now I have something I want to say to you. Hi, my name is Frank Schaeffer, and I would like to warn you about what is going to happen when Kamala Harris wins this election, which she will. You see, Trump and his strategists are putting on a show of triumphalism. Their Madison Square Garden racist fest of misogyny, drivel, a floating island of garbage, as it were, to quote their stand-up comedian, was a show of force to try to proclaim themselves as almost having a victory celebration in imitation of the German fascists of the 1930s. Now, there's a reason for this. They know perfectly well they're behind in the polls. They know perfectly well they've turned off all reasonable Americans, including many evangelical Christians, who are going to vote against Donald Trump in disgust. But by claiming victory now, by pretending to hold a victory rally before the election result is out, they are laying the groundwork to claim that the election was stolen. And this time around, they have Elon Musk and Twitter X to help them. They have J.D. Vance and his network of liars led by Tucker Carlson. They have Thiel and the other billionaires in their corner. They have Bezos ducking and refusing to endorse a candidate, pressuring the Washington Post not to endorse so he can keep his government contracts. They have Musk with an interest in Trump winning and or claiming the election was stolen to throw mud over the process, to hopefully pull himself out of a nosedive by redoubling his efforts to get the hundreds of billions of dollars in the pipeline from the US federal government, that's your money and my money, through subsidies for electric cars, SpaceX, Starlink. So this time around, when Donald Trump claims the election was stolen, which he will, it's no longer just some rubes, open carry fools and militias here and there, the kind of people who threaten election workers with death, who say they will poison and kill their children and have, in fact, poisoned some of their pets already, the kind of scum out there that is essentially the foot soldiers of the MAGA movement. This time around, they have a force of tech billionaires in their corner with as much money as most countries have that will be backing that claim to save face. So I want to warn you, be warned. Get out there and vote. Do not be intimidated by the show of strength. It's hollow that the Republicans are putting forth. Do not look at their fascist-style rally and think, well, they were in the garden, they filled it. This means something. It means nothing. People trekked from all over the country to fill Madison Square Garden in exactly the same way they trekked from all over the country to storm our Capitol. The two events are related. These are the same people, literally. Many of the people there in Madison Square Garden were the exact same people who hadn't gotten arrested last time around. Maybe they held back and didn't actually crash into the Capitol and beat up policemen and spray them and hit them and try to murder our politicians, including the vice president. Same crowd. They can show up in numbers. They come in buses from all over the place, but they don't represent you and me. Get out there and vote for Kamala Harris. Do not think that these people have somehow locked up the election. Far from it. Kamala will win as long as you vote. And we all will vote because we understand what is at stake. But be warned, the billionaires are coming for you with their lies. Elon Musk, J.D. Vance, Tucker Carlson, Thiel have all parroted back the Trump lie that the last election was stolen. They are trying to make a deal with him for government contracts in the future, sweetheart deals, protection. And I want to go a step further. I will bet you that Musk, J.D. Vance, Tucker Carlson, and Thiel also have a list of people who have criticized them. Media they don't like. Take the Wall Street Journal that has run a whole series of articles on the corruption of Musk, his drug taking, his parties, his weirdness, the way he's running his business into the ground, his dealings with the Saudis and all the rest of it. That's a Rupert Murdoch paper, a conservative paper, but they have real journalists there, and they have done a magnificent job of exposing the dark side of Musk for months. And what about the articles that show he was giving to far-right Republican demagogues and leaders and liars and conspiracy theorists years before he admitted he was trending towards the Republican Party? They've exposed him for doing that. Don't be surprised if Elon Musk is as vengeful as Donald Trump, if J.D. Vance is as vengeful as Donald Trump, if Tucker Carlson and Thiel are. Some of these men are converts to the far right wing of the Roman Catholic Church, the kind of people who are in Opus Dei, the kind of people running the Heritage Foundation, the kind of people making lists of their next Supreme Court appointments that will overturn the right to gay marriage, that will overturn the right to contraceptives. You heard that right. That's part of Project 2025. They are coming for you no matter who you are. Man, woman, child, these people want to control and rule you and change your destiny by stripping our democracy away from us so that we, the people, no longer have a voice, but the new oligarchs do. Just remember this. If you don't vote for Kamala Harris, you're not voting for Donald Trump. You're voting for J.D. Vance, Musk, Tucker Carlson, and Thiel, and the other billionaires waiting in the wings. And if I was Donald Trump, I have a word of advice for him, and I'm not kidding. If you happen to be elected, which you will not be, I would keep a sharp lookout for these billionaires who supported you. They have private armies too, you know, literal ones. They could buy and sell you in a heartbeat. They can buy and sell your children in a heartbeat. They can take you and your daughter and your son-in-law and his little deals with the Saudis and run you into the ground so fast it would make your head spin. They can make sure you're not around one way or another to finish your presidency and put J.D. Vance in power that they can control with their billions because he's one of them. You, Donald Trump, are a Sunday school picnic compared to Elon Musk, J.D. Vance, Tucker Carlson, and Thiel, and the others who are waiting in the wings, who are kissing your butt now, but will destroy you once you're in office because they want power, they want control, and they don't want anybody to regulate them. They are going to be the power behind the throne. But you're not going to get there. You're going to lose, and you're going to claim the election was stolen, and Musk and Vance and Tucker Carlson and Thiel will all back you up with their billions, but it won't do any good because our democracy will stand. We are going to win. And so if you are a Harris supporter, as I am, and are looking to her to save you from this throng of weird, perverted thugs and liars, then do not be intimidated by their Nazi victory parade they just held in Madison Square Garden and the intimidation and the vile racist and misogynistic rhetoric they threw at us. And understand that this is just a show, in the same way the Nuremberg rallies were a show by the Nazis, to project strength when they had none. And if the Allies had stood up to them in the 1930s, and even at the beginning of World War II, before they blitzkrieged their way into France through the Ardennes, and had actually seen all their trucks and tanks jammed on a French road while the Allies retreated, having been intimidated by their strength and their show of force and all those nice flags snapping in the wing at the rallies, they could have won the war in a couple of months. But instead, they backed down. Let's not do that here in our country. This is a show of force. There is no substance there. We will win. Kamala Harris will make a great president. She will learn in office. She is a normal, decent human. She is intelligent. Do not be intimidated. Get out there and vote. And in the meantime, prepare. Gird your will and your loins, as it were, to go biblical on your butt here for the fight to come. Just remember, these billionaires, these blighted lost souls, are not going to take this lying down. They know they have shot their wad. That millions of Americans seeking justice are going to make sure that SpaceX and all these related companies represented by these people and Tucker Carlson and the others will pay a price in reputation and no longer be seen as geniuses by anyone for having backed a losing, failing candidate that never was anything but a trumped up fool. My name is Frank Schaeffer.